Alright, welcome back everyone. So what I'm going to be doing in today's video is I'm just going to be keeping it real short. In today's trade of the day video, I'm going to be walking you guys through how I made $1,800 on Monday. I did not trade today. I'm recording this video here on Tuesday. But let's just go ahead and jump right into it. If you guys tuned into all of my past videos, right, you will be able to understand the setup I took. If you watched my live trading video in specific last week, this is where I discussed this setup. If you guys remember, let's just go ahead and do a quick recap because I think this is very important. Let's just go all the way over here where the chart's not distracting us, right? So, last week I talked about this specific setup. So we have last week's price action, and this was last week's high, correct? Let's just go ahead and label that just to keep everything transparent, right? That's last week's high. Then market open, let's just say there was a little gap. We had Asia price action, a little bit of a range, right? And then eventually we break out of this high of the week. We come back in, we retest this high, right? And then what we look for is one more push to break this high, to bring in all traders long, break out, break and retest, everything. So we look for that high to be taken. Until then, we do not do anything. And if the market decides to pierce the high of the week and just fall, we miss the trade. At least I personally missed the trade. That's just from what I backtest, from experience, live market trading. This is how I like to see the setup. Otherwise, I will not take it. And then once that happens, we look for a break. A break of structure, relevant break of structure, whatever you want to call it, right? And then we look to trade from here. And this is just and to take it lower, at least to these lows, or maybe even lower, depending on the price action, right? And this right here is my entry, and this is for shorts. Obviously, for longs, it works the exact opposite. Just take this and invert it, essentially. That's how a setup for longs would work. And then if you guys tuned into last week's video, I know I keep saying that, but it's important. We would have the market doing something like this, a fake break, a realignment, and then this is our continuation trade right here. And there's a lot of different confirmations I talk about in my Discord, in how to really confirm this trade right here. This trade's pretty easy to get into. It's this trade that sometimes is a little bit more difficult for people to catch. However, in my system, I have found a perfect way to be able to catch these trades and have them be highly confirmed. So if you're interested, that's something that you're going to have to see in my Discord, which is completely free to join. There is no financial risk associated with joining the Discord. You just have to click on the link and join. That's really that simple. And this is where I'll be talking about these types of trades right here. Let me just leave that up. But this, if you guys remember me saying, this is the only setup you need to be truly profitable. You don't need anything else, nothing else. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So this was Monday, right? We have Asia in here. Right here was last week's high. I have an indicator that basically puts that on my chart just for simplicity, right? And then now, if you guys remember, weekly high, we have Asia, a little bit of a range, whatever, fakes in some early sellers right here. They get taken out. We break the weekly high right here. We come back in, we retest it. What did I tell you to look for? Right here. This. Now if we move this, does that not look the exact same? Weekly high right here. Break, retest, boom. Okay, now we're at this step. It's when we really get into the nitty gritty here. I think I entered on the 1 minute. Personally, but you can see it right here. Let's really zoom in there. I want you guys to be able to see this. Here is your break right here. That's your realignment. That's your break of structure that you need. Where do you enter? Right here. 2.5 pips. Do you need anything else to really be profitable? You risk 0.25% of your account on that. Or 0.025 rather. Target this. It's a 1 to 7 in, let's see, from the moment I entered, 4 hours. So $1,800 for me, because just based on what I risk, was plenty. It was a nice 1 to 7 at 0.025 of my account. And let's just jump down to the 1 minute here. I can show you more so the entry. There we go. It's a little bit clearer on the 1 minute, but again, it was very clear from the 5 minute. You don't really need to be on the 1 minute, because the 1 minute just overcomplicates everything. You want to keep trading as simple as you possibly can, but you can see that break here on the 1 minute, and then the same thing. There's your entry. You could have even potentially, if you wanted to, stacked another position right here. See that entry right there? And the entries are very, very specific. This candle right here is where you enter. Stop covers the high. Let's see that. 2.4, you add your spread. It's probably going to be about 3, depending on what broker you use. So you could have easily had 2 highly confirmed trades. Just between the 2 of these, you could have been around 13 to 14 risk to reward. I just don't know what else you would need, right? And this setup happens on every pair, easily every week. I guarantee you it happens on 1 pair once a week. You can go back test this if you don't believe me, but I would put $1 million as a bet on the fact that this happens every week on at least one of the major pairs. And you don't need anything else to be profitable. This trade right here, like I said, it made me $1,800 on a Monday, which is more than you could ever ask for on most Mondays, right? Obviously, this is on a $200,000 account on prop firms. But again, people who have more capital would make more. People who have less, it's all relative to the amount of capital you trade with. But right here, hands down, trade of the day for Monday. No questions asked. Today, Tuesday, wasn't exactly a wonderful day. Pretty choppy. I guess you could have entered a short here off this. But there's nothing, it really wasn't too clean, if I'm going to be honest. And for what? You enter here, you get 18 pips. Just not something I was really interested in, honestly. But again, for tomorrow, what I'm waiting for, hopefully, we'll obviously check it again in the morning, but what I'm ideally waiting for here is these highs to be broken. Maybe even Asia high of today. And what that will do, if we break this, is going to bring in buyers in this zone, right? Like I always talk about, we will then begin generating stop losses here in terms of people who are looking to take the market long because they've had their break of structure and whatnot, right? So that is just something we can look for on Wednesday in terms of continuations, at least into these. Take out these wicks possibly. Right here. That'll be a good target, and potentially the low of or this would be Monday's, where market opened on Sunday for me, would be good targets. Now, the other scenario is if we come down here first. If Asia chops, right, does this, then we come down and we get some sort of break and retest, breakout, entry, right, and then we get this, then we could look for longs. That's a potential situation that could occur tomorrow, which is why when the market opens, I do my analysis, and it becomes as simple as, did A or B happen? Okay, A happened, now I'm going to trade this way. If A didn't happen and B happened, okay, I'm going to trade the other way. Just basically aligning your bias for the day. So those are the two situations. We will reconvene on Thursday, or possibly at the end of tomorrow, at the end of Wednesday's trading session, and we will see what happened. I have laid it out right here. This is what we're looking for, and like I said, here we go with a nice 1 to 7, 1 to 8, depending on how you trade. on Monday's trade of the day. And again, if you guys are interested in learning these concepts, my Discord is linked in the description of this video. Feel free to join. It's completely free, and in the Discord you'll be able to learn one-on-one from me, and also just compare your ideas with other people who are trying to learn as well. That's important. You can't, this is not a, it's not a solo game. It is, but when it comes to learning, the best way to do it is with people who are driven, people who are just like you, who have the same goal. And with that, you'll be able to elevate your Forex trading game to the next level and truly achieve the financial freedom I know you all are after.